C7, real upper thorax. A lot of people go here to the brow line or down below, but this I'm just concentrating on the upper areas. I hope you can see it well enough. So I'm always again on top of the vertebrae. I'm not working below, but right now, just starting off, I'm just making my presence known. Now notice, as always, I have my hand here. Now you're laying down. I didn't change your position by putting my hand here. But notice when I take my hand away, it's just a different touch versus here.
The same concept as the pillow?
Same
just
concept.
That reassurance of the fall?
Somehow that really establishes and protects, to me, the vestibular.
Okay.
There we go. So now her body's really responding. And this is where I get feedback. I can already feel how the organization of the shoulder and the muscles are here are responding just based off of this light touch. So I get feedback. All you want. So what I'm doing is I'm not necessarily just touching here. When I touch, notice how I'm lightly going up towards the skull. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
Because what really gets sort of bottled up here, there you can feel it right there, is extension up to the head. And me in particular, I notice that's what's happening. I have extension from like here to here, it seems like, and then I have extension here, but sometimes to like lift my neck up, it feels like it's just a laborious task versus something I just do naturally. So what I'm going to do now, so I'm going to go right underneath the neck, and I'm just going to see, so I went down here, how the vertebrae rotate. Now, for the most part, not much. So I'm going to come down here. It's going to look like I'm throwing you down for karate, but it's very gentle. But I'm asking the system in a different way how to come back to this part of the vertebrae. So it's really similar, like when I'm bringing the tush down, saying this is your tush looking for a seat or for the in the car. So same thing is as I'm looking for. There we go. The vertebrae is looking to come back. But see how you're a little bit confused? Do you feel that?
Yeah.
And you really want to be careful on this because you don't want to be like a pull. You know, I'm not grabbing you by the collar, you know what I mean, and pulling you back. What I'm looking for is there we go. So now what I'm doing is coming under the clavicles and pushing through and then pushing back towards the clavicle. Yeah.
Like the extension like you're talking about.
Right.
Yeah.
Because my hands are here. Feel the difference if I went like this? See, I don't have the skull involved.
No.
But right underneath here, at the base of the skull, see, and again, it's a rotation. I'm showing my hands on the film, but I'm coming in here and see how I lift the neck and push it. And this is something too Erin needs to develop. But least of my worries. Right there. See? Feel how I can carry you? So I'm going to where you can't do it anymore, and then I'm going to pull you back. So now I'm going to come back underneath here and see if this made a difference. There we go. See how I can slowly pull the head back towards the vertebrae. And see how I was talking about with the baby? How I'm rolling the vertebrae. Feel that?
Yeah.
As I'm pulling the head back. That's so much nicer. Also, notice what I was talking about before with the head. Feel now how your chin is coming up and everything in your head starting to roll over my hand. Do you feel the difference? Versus that you're just turning your head like this.
Yeah.
Your head's getting volume. So now I'm going to go back here again. Same thing almost the beginning is pushing up the vertebrae. So now I don't do this too often. I'm going to come underneath the vertebrae and do a light lift. So I'm pushing up the neck and lifting at the same time. Very much, again, what I was doing with Arlie. See how that's awkward for your spine to sway in this position. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
But that's okay. There it is. See? Feel the difference from that spot to where I just was.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to go back here. Still, see, I only get to here. So I'm going to go back to where it was more successful. And back here. There we go. Now the tonus for some people can be, especially an adult male or like me, can be very built up. So you actually can apply a little bit more pressure than usual. So I'm coming back here. Now feel how you can rotate over your vertebrae and through the chest cavity. Feel that? See how my fingers are just enough to influence the head to come up off the spine? You just don't know what to do with yourself, do you? See, too, now, I push, I come back. You fall to me.
Oh, yeah.
Excuse me. Now what I'm doing is my rotation. So I'm in here, and it's just this slight, so feel, see how my fingers just slightly rotate. My other thumb is on the other side of the vertebrae, so to help with the chest cavity rotation. There we go. Do you feel that? Are you comfortable?
Yeah.
See how all the ribs here are starting to loosen up in the back?
Yeah.
See how Jenna, I do that rotation?
Yeah, all those muscles around my neck were really tight. And I felt them loose. So, see that?
Oh, you're getting a whole
Yeah.
developmental pregnancy lesson so every time? Okay, so right here. So what I was doing here is trying to pull the neck back from here. And see how I'm getting back, like from here, but I get to just right here.
Yeah.
But I can't pull you. Oh, there you go. It's still difficult. So what I'm going to do here is lift the neck. So see how I lift and back down.
Just a little bit.
It's it's just a little bit. So with that, and this could be too because you're at the edge of my table and your body's going, nah. But here, now look how I can twist. Now watch how I pull down on the neck and I'm pushing up on the vertebrae. There you go. See, I'm just, again, doing very slow movements that Arlie was just making. Do you see that or feel that? So see how much the whole upper spine can actually sway.
Yeah.
When I push in, I'm still with my palm and pushing up the head. What I'm doing here is I'm taking the shoulder, rotating the shoulder, and around into the vertebrae.
I really like this lesson.
But notice again though how much it's like Arlie. If she was rolling over, see how the arm would come and do this to roll over? Now I'm not expecting for you to do that with your whole arm, but I'm into the vertebrae and rolling. See how it's very infant-like?
Yeah.
Oh, like I said, you learn how to do this and do it to me. But now look, see, now you're totally at the end of the table though. But see what I was talking about, that quickness with the spine?
Yeah.
But also with this, your breathing's totally regulated.
Yeah.
Your head's back, you're not going. You can fix your head if you need on the pillow. So again, now I'm taking my thumb and pushing down into the spine, and again, I'm below the vertebrae. I don't normally work below the vertebrae. Usually if I'm up here, I stay here, or I'm on the other side. But I'm below here and above, and again, because I'm looking for that tight movement or the sway. See how much the upper spine really can move? I'll do this on you too, and then you guys can practice. Ah, there we go. So now the shoulders are totally separating up from the vertebrae. Now again, only because you're pregnant, lie on your back, feel that. I'm going to have to do both sides of you because again, because you're pregnant, I'm purposely not leaving you uneven.
I can really feel it.
Yeah. But now just feel rolling the left shoulder, just that little bit, and the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, see how it's smooth? Now do that on the other side. It's like boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom.
This one is. Yeah. It's like half of my body is.
So I'm just going to do this just to show you from doing that, just to see. No. So feel this.
It's fine.
I'll Jenna do that too.
Feel her?
So just come to the top of her.
Okay.
And again, this is where we've been talking about with Arlie's shoulders and stuff, but rotation. So just grab, just like this with your right hand,
Okay.
and just feel her rotation and how it picks up.
Okay.
Because this is a feed for baby. And now with your left hand, there you go.
Oh, wow.
See how the arm doesn't come to you?
Uh-huh. It feels like it stops like right here.
Right,
And
good.
You can rotate her wrist. I can rotate your wrist, but then when it gets to the elbow, it doesn't
Right.
just.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you could see as a baby, if there was a baby in that condition, feeding through the right would be difficult because my elbow's here and somehow, see?
There just isn't that left.
Yeah.
Makes-
Well, feeding and like crawling.
Right.
They move.
But feel sucking the thumb with this one, you know? And then this one.
Yeah.
See how there's no...
Yeah. This is.
I'm just going to go in. I've got my hands around. And I'm just... So you can see the extension is completely different on this side. So feel how it's hard for that information to travel up your spine to your head. And the tendency when you don't get a reaction is to go, okay, you know what I mean? And that's almost when it's like, ooh, then I need to get softer.
Yeah. I get what you.
You'll find me when I do work like this, I turn my head, and all I can say it's like, you know when you used to break into a safe, and they turn their head and they feel the notches, you know, like the sound? Like I'm going to hear like something miraculous, I don't know. I don't normally watch my hands, but we don't watch our hands when we drive, so that's okay. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good thing. We don't watch our hands when we cook. Actually, when we watch our hands, it's more like, you know, you've had a problem like a stroke. There we go. So now, since this side's different, I'm actually again pushing down, right on C7. But what I'm doing is my right hand is just slightly turning her back. So I'm moving my right hand. There we go. See how?
Mm-hmm.
She just thought about coming around her vertebrae. Now, people want to know, why is this a problem? I don't know. Maybe because she's right-handed. Maybe because it's the way she picks up the kids. Maybe she hurt herself once. I mean, there's not one sequence of events. So I'm just again going to, almost like I'm pulling down her vertebrae right in here. Notice this is
common problem.
in this area.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of computers
Okay.
and people, anesthesiologists. God, I could have a practice just on that if that's what I wanted to go after. I have a kyphosis right there. It drives me nuts because I can work on myself to here. I can work on myself here, but getting to this area, it's like washing your back. I mean, good luck.
Yeah, that's right. Get Adam to rub wherever.
So now I'm actually going to twist instead with my thumb. And I'm purposely doing each side a little bit different just to show you how there's more than one way to skin a cat.
Okay.
But in this position here now, I'm going to go under this neck, under here, and just again, I'm going to pull. When I say pull, I probably more mean guide. So right here, her sternum actually is saying, yeah, like, have a nice day. Feel how your chest cavity is almost like an anchor?
Yeah.
Do you feel that?
Yeah.
So, because this is abnormal to me, I'm going to hang out for a second. And so I'm holding the neck in this position, but I'm going to go back and forth a little bit. And this is really what you see me do with the babies, especially when they're on their side. I'm going to come around just to get a better grip on her. But notice I'm not pulling, I'm rotating. There we go. I know. So now I can come in and do the extension much better. Feel that? But I'm rotating the neck. So I'm going to bring you back to just where you're more square. So now I'm going to come in. Again, it's a rotation. I've got my thumb right at the spot in the vertebrae, and I'm going to push down in the neck, and I'm going to push up through with my right. So I'm pushing down in the neck, rotating through the thumbs. So see how I'm working the rotation of the back? There we go. So see how the movement now is getting quicker all of a sudden and a much tighter range. So see how I can get in here? Right here is not the same as here. See how I have more mobility here?
Mm-hmm.
And right here it gets a little tighter. There we go. So now I can come in here, same pose, and rotate the shoulder. Now this is where you saw it up when she was on her back, that the shoulder didn't know what it was supposed to do. So all I'm doing is just like squeezing a lemon on a juicer with the rotary cuff, and there we go, waiting for it to connect up properly with the vertebrae, because the scapula, the shoulder column comes into here. So I'm right underneath that function. See how now the shoulder can come up? And see, ready now, that's the lift starting to go into the roll or self-feed. But see now too how I can just pull her shoulder from her body. Notice my arms here. I'm not like this. See, it's a different movement, Claudia,
Yeah.
versus here. I'm telling you, you protect that vestibular, you get results 10 times quicker. That's it. Now the shoulder flags. But still notice how the head's not rolling. Do you see this? See, Claudia?
Uh-huh.
the head's not rolling. Do you see that?
Yeah.
I got the shoulder flagging. So now I'm going to come back under the head. And I'm going to lift right off the back of the mastoid processes. I'm pushing in to C7, so it's a lift here, and I'm underneath here. Her lower. I'm not too pokey on the side of the head, am I?
Uh-uh.
And then what I want to do here a little bit is just pull down. Because opposites attract. That's much better. Oh, yeah. See how the head's rolling?
Mm-hmm.
Feel the difference, Claudia?
Yeah. Oh.
And now the head's getting better at rolling. There we go. So now just going back and see if that made a difference. See now how the head can respond. Look at now the tush, her ankles, all of that now are rolling with the upper back. So I'm going to come underneath here. This is a little bit hard. It's probably one of the hardest touches I use, which isn't saying much. I mean, I'm not hurting her. But the force needed to come because I'm below versus here. So I'm below, so I've got to lift, and then I'm pulling back. This is the upper rotation of the chest cavity. And again, no offense, if you've got like a 270-pound football player and you're in here going, oh, there we go. Notice too your chest cavity's not heavy at all.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can see the quickness.
Oh.
So I can come in here, and this is walking.
Keep covering your face.
See that? Do you feel how that's walking?
Yeah.
And see how the hips are getting nice and loose?
Oh, yeah.
And there, now I can pull without pulling your hair, hopefully.
Her feet are even flagging.
Oh yeah. I was saying this is walking now.
Yeah.
So now feel that.
What is that? Oh, wow. My pulse. I feel like I grew.
Well, see too how when you got up with your head again versus lifting your same thing. I'm just here. Now, she doesn't have a kyphosis like I do. I mean, she doesn't have rounding. But so what? She's still not probably using this area of her back. So, just because someone looks a certain way doesn't matter. You're going after efficiency of movement. Most people look at the inefficiency of movement is when they are, I hate to say it, dysmorphic, or it used to be deformed or whatever, when it doesn't look like the standard MOs. But right now, being quite pregnant, you're dysmorphic. You know what I mean? As far as your brain is concerned.
Yeah.
I don't mean to be rude or whatever. I'm not saying, you know what I mean, that you have an alien being in your belly, but it changes your proportions very quickly, and your brain's still going, what the heck? It doesn't mean you don't enjoy the pregnancy, you're not looking forward to it. It's still an organization. Now, just because she's like this, and people go, but oh, she's a nice straight back. She shouldn't have any problems. Well, you didn't have your arm taped here. So now I'm going to get to work. So same thing. So I'm just feeling pushing up. Now right there, which is kind of strange, and I'm only saying this because she's in my class, instead of the movement going up right there, I literally, and this is one of the rare times I've seen it, it's like the movement went like this. Do you feel that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost blocking, like right into your base of your skull. Like feel your head's not getting long.
Yeah.
Does that
no,
make
I
sense?
feel it. It feels like it's
hitting there, not.
So now because hers is
And
doing
it feels like it's pulling off here. I don't know.
right, because I don't think you're doing any work here, so your lower back is kicking in.
This one.
So what I'm going to do with her that's a little bit different is I'm just going to go right up in there and say, I acknowledge you, but I'm doing, it's like a light head lift. Again, my standard rule usually is 3. I don't know why, it's like flowers. 3 looks prettier than 2. She gets to all sorts of ranges, doesn't she?
Mm-hmm.
I have to give her voice lessons starting at 3. Take advantage of it. And now I'm just going to see if it made a difference. Huge. Right? Don't you think? Do you see the difference?
You can see now.
Yeah, it's not pulling all through my lower back.
So now with her too, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to come in here. Again, just to say, I'd like your participation. I'm only going to do 1. That's a lot better. Is sitting better for you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you didn't have me, you'd be like a cripple by now.
Oh, yeah.
See now here, feel how I can't twist you. You feel that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do the twist. So I'm gonna come in here, here. So I'm pulling down on this vertebrae and up, so you know it's like a giant circle here. See it?
I see it right now, but later on when I'm trying to do it, I won't see.
Listen,
I noticed too that
the whole objectives too when you're doing this stuff, like the girl in Hawaii, she's Max's sis, and that's fine. You weren't seeing the like, oh my gosh, you know, I noticed the big changes. But it's times like that, as long as you learn the principles of rotation and touch, you know, the gravity, the vestibular, just like those key elements of the system, you just gotta have faith and it'll happen. Like Aaron has had to have a lot of lessons, but he's starting to walk.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah.
do I wish it could have happened sooner? Well, heck yeah, but it's better than, you know.
No, yeah. But
or-
and there's so many things that he changed though. You know, with the process of
My biggest thing I see to change in is the weakness.
yeah.
If you go back to some old pictures to see him sitting in a chair like, you know, like
Yeah.
Graham had it. There's a shift in the jaw that goes from here to here. You know, just that.
Yeah.
And you see it in older people sometimes. It's just like there's a weight, like.
Yeah, he sits. That way he sits, he holds his head, moves, looks around. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Oh, I didn't tell you that last Friday was this music teacher. You know, you're in the class talking about how music helps and stuff. And she even mentioned that Aaron is he's pretty loose. It's not like the other kids that tie in. And I told her that because I come here. Because she said, he's really loose, you know. Like most kids.
So more so with Jenna, I'm going to do underneath here, lift. I've got my arm across here, and I'm going to start with that shoulder rotation. Notice how slow I've been with her?
Yeah.
Because she hasn't developed these suckers. See now how I'm rotating up through the underneath side and pulling back on her shoulder. And again, Jenna, like I was saying before, this is probably the hardest touch I'll use, but I mean, it's not hard, right?
No, it feels fabulous.
But see too, look at how the chest cavity's not rotating around the vertebrae. Do you see
Yeah.
that? So is what I was doing with Arlie just moments before make sense now? Of the rotation and rolling around? Yeah,
If
no.
I was early, I wouldn't roll over.
Well, see here? See? The twist in the chest to roll over? Or no twist in the chest. There we go.
There.
And then she did it. Feel the difference when it goes? Cool. This is interesting. What I can't do with her, see how I can't lift her arm. Push through.
Oh.
See it?
Yeah.
Okay, so now I just changed my lesson. So I'm going to come down below here. I'm working on the same concept as here. I'm just dropping it down to here. So I'm coming in underneath the vertebrae, or I shouldn't say underneath because I'm on the top side. And I'm going to rotate here through the chest cavity and slide up, but it's going to be a rotation up the arm.
It's like, oh.
There we go. So now I'm going to do the rotation the other way. I'm still going up this way with the right hand and rotate back with the left. There we go. See, that's a back bend. See how I was doing that with Arlie? How flexible the spine can get, even in a very localized area. There we go. Now notice still how her head won't roll. See how much the head wants to stay where it's at? So now I'm going to come back to the lesson. Unless Arlie says otherwise. That was me cracking. So just from that little bit, see the difference? I'm pushing up with the back and down on the spine. Twisting back. Okay, right here, she doesn't want to twist. I'm going to come underneath here, just like here. So I'm underneath and I'm twisting. So I'm literally sliding my hand out and pulling back. There you go. This is how I would take someone down in karate. Where I would go in front, twist their neck, and boom, they'd be down in a second. There we go. So now. But now feel going up. But also see the counter. I go up, her twist goes back. In, out, in, and that's a counterbalance. Same thing's happening with her elbow, her shoulder.
Okay.
I push in, and every part starts to counter. And again, that's a healthy baby. Okay, walk around and then check on her. And see how she can roll and throw her shoulder to get up.
Oh.
She's like, do the other side.
This side rolls and this side is like, let me
Yeah.
stop right there.
So just see, just as this, and people go, oh, so you don't evaluate people when they come in? I'm like, no. Well, I do when you're kind of walking in and I'm watching you. Sorry, I'm just taking off my sweater. Okay, so I'm going to have Claudia do it first. Watch this seat. So sit there, please. So all I want you to do is go to touch her there, but with the intent of rotation. Just no, the other hand. Just go like that and rotate. So now is that enough for you to say, okay, I got some work to do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I can touch someone so quickly and go, well, okay, I need to work here. Because what I go for is the end of the results we just had. There was a nice rotation. So when I go in there and I'm getting like sort of like putting a key in a car and you're getting it versus the engine just turning over.
Yeah.
So, and that's when I'm like, okay, that's where I'm working. So, one touch will do it. That's all you need. Put you back in there. Right. So see, and I can prove it this way. I can't pull her down. I can't push her. I knew just from that, nada. So now again with her, I'm going to go a little bit lower and just with the same intentions, but with the bra area. Right below the scapula, but again, I'm still with the intentions. So what I'm going to do here, it's a little bit different move. I'm coming underneath here. I'm going to rotate my left hand and the right. This is a move that I really came up with, but perfected. I had a woman with fibromyalgia. I really assumed her spine was rotted. It was just, I never, see how she's at least giving me some response?
Yeah.
This woman, and finally she goes, oh, I had spinal meningitis when I was 2 years old. I had to rewalk and everything. Do you think that had something to do with it?
Oh my goodness.
And I'm like, you don't have fibromyalgia. Your spine's just frozen. So I literally, and she was moving the next day to like Missouri. So I literally had to go in there and with each vertebrae and say, you're going to probably need Tylenol after this, but, and twist every vertebrae to wake it up. Okay, see right here, it's hard to lift you. Does that make sense? So right here, see how I can sort of rotate you more? But here, it's hard to lift you. I don't have that rotation, I don't.
You just have to stop.
Here, different, here. So now I'm coming to the right on each side of the vertebrae. Again, a little bit of a hard tonus, but I work with Jenna enough. I wouldn't do, let's say, a hard tonus on a first date person. But now look at the difference. So now when I touch her, already I have, see how she's tonus. See, tush is reacting, foot's reacting. So now I can go in here with her and do this upper body thing.
I can see why you would want us to learn how to do this.
I'm on the table in about 5 minutes. There we go. So now I'm going for the freedom of the spine. And here. Shoulder rotation. Now I have to slow it down because even that slow, I'm getting staccato. You see how her shoulder's going boom, boom, boom. I call that a staccato like in music because the movement's not smooth. I tell you, I have such a pig Latin for what I do. Now C2, see how she's not rotating around the vertebrae just yet? So I get to here. That was a little rough. And notice her head on this side is very fixed to the movement. No matter what I do, that nose is coming with me. She can't lie here while I do this. So now I'm going to come under the neck and just lift. And a lot of people would say, don't do that. Well, she doesn't know she's doing it in the first place, so where's the don't do?
Don't do what?
No matter what I do here, you see how fixed your head is?
Yeah. A lot of people would say don't do what?
Your head, see
Oh.
how I can't get you to just lie
Yeah.
down? But that's really awkward for you. But I'm saying, a lot of people would say, well, don't do that, lay your head still. Well, if you knew how to do it, you'd be doing it in the beginning.
Oh, they tell me not to move.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, there we go. So see, her acceleration's getting quicker.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So now what I'm doing is rotating the shoulder. Down. So the rotation's going this way. So her arm's getting a little confused, but realizes that its participation will be great. There we go. See, I'm not bringing the head up. This is just like playing the kids' piano, but again, notice how I'm doing the cause and effect thing. Bum, bum, bum.
Right, that isn't the only area that you work like that, like more.
Yeah, because
Or-
see how, well, that's what I was trying to show you on Arlie. Do you see how when she could roll over and she can bring her head forward and back and these nice quick, the spine, I don't know if I guess you get a towel, the spine should just flip. It's a very, most people, the spine thinks it goes up, down, side, side. That's what if you look at any kind of anatomy book or this. But the spine is like a string of pearls or here, beads. You know,
Yeah.
the spine's really, here, let's see if I can do it this way. See, the spine should be, again, if there's a movement, like a whiplash, the spine should be able to take it. That's what I was showing with Arlie. Did you see how her fast she was going, right? But, so, when I go into this area, there really should be a speed. See how when I get in here? So, here, like, you know, play like a kid, but, you know, she's on a horse. You know. This is how it should be. So, curl your toes. See the difference? And it's like I'm literally going like this on her spine. Let your toes go. See the difference? See if she's throwing her shoulder?
Yeah.
So it's not that I'm doing this movement to her, I'm doing this movement with cause and effect. And I wouldn't be doing this movement to her right in the beginning. Because that would be more like a whiplash or a violation. I can only do this when she thinks that, oh, spine fun. So now, what I'm doing here is just a quick left, right, but I'm going like this into her C7. But again, that's what I talked to you, this is walking. There we go. See, now I can start pulling right through C7 and bringing her back. Now if I wanted more results, just because no offense, the bulk of her system, it's not a baby, then I can do a two-handed thing. Or I can do this, where it's a counterbalance, where the spine comes back and the spine is going forward down below.